Recording. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about branding and how we're putting ourselves out there. And just to kind of summarize what we were just talking about, Pete, you and I have been talking a lot about branding over the last several months and just trying to figure out how this is working for you. And I was just wanting to share that for the first year and a half or so of my being a coach, one of the big mistakes that I made is that as soon as I got this title of being a coach. To me, it was like it was laden with all of this baggage of what I thought being a coach was. And immediately, I changed my identity on social media. I was like, now I'm a coach. Everybody, I want you to think of me, I'm a coach. I'm like a fitness guru. I'm the person to go to whenever you need help with fitness. And, while that in the beginning for me had a little bit of a payoff, it definitely wasn't sustainable. And it started to paint myself into a corner because here's the thing, just because somebody has a label of being a coach doesn't mean that people automatically respect you and look up to you for fitness advice. That's the kind of thing that has to be earned. It's the
Mm,
kind of thing that people have to see. What kind of results are you getting, both for yourself as well as for other people. And until that is a clear track record that everybody can kind of see, like, oh yeah, this is what you're doing. um, it's best not to. In fact, I'm kind of like stepping back from that identity as well and seeing a lot of really good fruit. It's best not to pigeonhole yourself into the label of a coach. And so one of the big flips that's happened for me, and I mean, I've been doing this for over 4 years, and I do have a track record. I do have, a lot of people that I've helped. I've feel really great about my own physicality and goals that I've reached myself. And I feel like if anybody could call themselves a coach, I do feel comfortable with that label. However, here's the thing: for somebody that I meet for the very first time, they see me and they see, oh, he's a coach. Well, what's that? And they're automatically asking me all of these questions as if I'm a trainer, which I'm not a trainer. I'm not certified. I'm not a nutritionist. That's not who we are. And the word coach, while we understand what it means, there's a lot of people out there that have no clue what that means. So they come to it with all this baggage. And it can go in either direction. Like they can either say, oh wow, this guy has great results and he calls himself a coach. I'm not sure what that is, but then they're going to barrage you with a million questions and they're going to be like, well, what protein shake at GNC should I have? And they're going to ask all these questions that, frankly, that's not what we do. If you want to be a trainer, then go get certified. But that's not who we are. And then on the other side, and I see this happen all the time, people who are in the middle of their own fitness journey, their own transformation, where yes, they've seen some great results, they are proof that the products work, and they're still working toward that goal. If somebody meets you for the very first time and they don't know where you came from, and all they see is, you're not this fitness model, ripped bodybuilder, but you call yourself a coach, then uh, they they don't understand what the connection is, and they don't see the value that you are trying to bring to them. So I've been finding that it's been so much more fruitful to try to take out as much jargon as possible, like try to take out all the Beachbody words. I don't talk about challenge groups. I don't talk about coach as much. It's really all about being a fitness enthusiast, being encouraging, being positive, being motivating, but then also kind of pushing more of who I am to the front. Being, for me personally, being a musician, being married, being a dog owner, going into these other niches and just fully embracing them. And actually, the more niches that you have that are not fitness related, that opens up a huge, a huge pot of people that maybe they're not going to immediately connect with you about fitness, but if you both like dogs, ask someone about their dog, and of course they're going to talk your ear off, and that's what forms the relationship. Then as they see you're doing this fitness thing, or you're asking a couple of friends to test out a new fitness program with you, then they'll be like, yeah, I like this guy who likes dogs, or I like this guy who's like super techie like me. I think I think I'd like to get in a little bit better shape. Let's do this together. So that way we're not setting ourselves up as these know-it-all answer people that we have to, not only know the answers to every question, but have the time to answer all of these questions. Once that gets started, it just goes on and on and on and on. So my epiphany for you, Pete, and this is for everybody, is what I've noticed on your Instagram, which I just checked your bio and it looks much better. Congratulations for fixing it. Sorry, for everybody else, I kind of laid the hammer down on Pete this week, so I'm glad he's still back.
Just some whoop. Pete.
I kind of kicked you in the pants there.
Yeah, slightly.
I didn't have a lot of time, but I knew I was very direct, and I just kind of laid it all out there. So what I notice is that you are not embracing who you are. And one of the biggest things of who you are is you're a tech guru, you're a tech genius. You're like building a TV right now. And for some reason, you haven't seen those as that aspect of who you are as something that's important to bring out as a Beachbody coach. So what I'm telling you now is, instead of resisting all of these parts of yourself that are not fitness related, I think it's a better thing to actually embrace it and put those forward, because that is who you're going to connect with. Out of the 7+ billion other people on Earth, and out of the 350 million people here in the US alone, I guarantee you there is somebody else out there who loves tech and probably wants to feel a little bit better about themselves. So what are some ways that, I'm going to actually ask a question that we can all answer. What are some ways that you can take your non-fitness related niche and share it in a way that's going to bring value to other people?
Well, you could certainly post interesting facts on Facebook. Things that you just found out, like the approximate heat value per thermal distribution of the sun, which I thought was pretty cool.
See?
It's pretty good. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Did you know per density, the sun is, an iguana puts out more heat than the sun does per density? It's pretty bizarre. It's just so much more of the sun. I know, it's facts like that. See, the win people over. Fun party.
Okay, I need you to put that on Facebook.
I did. I posted it a long time ago. And 4 people got it. The other people said, "What?"
Yeah, that's amazing.
Because it's stuff like that. We talk about bringing value to other people. And I think, a good question to ask next is, well, how do you do that? How do you bring value to other people? And value happens when you connect good information with people who care about that information.
Yeah, the right crowd.
Yeah. You got to know your audience. And the more you are transparent and just kind of sharing your life, other people who resonate with that are going to naturally come, be attracted to you. They're going to be like, oh yeah, Chris shares all these really cool facts about the sun and iguanas. I'm wondering what he's going to say next.
I'm dying to find out. or in my case, it would be sound design more often than not, right?
Exactly.
Which is very easy because I went to go see, you know, who doesn't like movies? I mean, very few people hate movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to go see the one on Stephen Hawking, which was fantastic. It was incredible.
Ooh,
But I haven't really posted much about it. I probably will. I probably will today. I got kind of busy.
exactly.
But I could see how people would connect to that. Yeah, absolutely.
Post from a sound designer's perspective, even, or I mean, whatever you find interesting, share it. And
Yeah.
people who also will find that interesting as well will be attracted to it.
Mhm.
Anybody who's smart would find it interesting. No, I'm just kidding. Of course. Yeah. You're more likely to interest people in film and sound than you ever will about astronomy. I mean, some people just don't care. And they get it confused with astrology, right? They really do.
Yeah. Mm.
Seriously, they do. So,
Yeah. All I know is sextant is not a dirty word.
yeah. I had that discussion with our pastor. She told me I was a sexton. And I said, I beg your pardon?
Like, I know we are a very affirming church,
Yeah.
but
He walked up and told you were a sexton. That's quite something.
well.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, that's a great example. Absolutely. Sound design, share about it. You know, are you learning new things about it?
Yeah.
Are, as you're developing yourself professionally as a sound designer, share like cool ideas about it. If there are projects that you're working on, you know, share the journey of that project, challenges that you're working with. You know, ask people who are also into sound design. Ask people for advice. People love giving advice. It's like the best way to get engagement on social media is to ask for people's advice because everybody knows all the answers and they're ready to share it.
And there are several groups right now having discussions as we speak. I mean, there's at least 19 groups that I've seen on Facebook alone. People that would be willing to talk about stuff. You wouldn't even have to hunt them down and find out if they like it. They're right there.
Exactly.
What is it? Low-hanging fruit? Isn't that the word?
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. So, Pete, while you're thinking about the answer to the question, because I do want to hear your answer.
I'm posting about things that, you know.
Action. I don't know if you guys have seen my Instagram video, but this is what I ended up with. And I just did these bullet points: motivation, muscles, music. So I decided these are the things that I'm going to post about for the most part. Every once in a while, you know, it'll be about something else or a random selfie or whatever. But somebody comes to my page and they're going to see that and they're going to be like, okay, I know what this guy's about. And then, you know, I do have a little invitation, want to be fit friends, follow me with the Facebook link right there. And I got to tell you, since I put that up, and as I was kind of randomly sharing, you know, about motivation quotes that I read, and stuff about my workout, you know, I've been posting little 15-second videos of singing, or, you know, that I love the Kelly Clarkson Christmas album, you know, so it's all about motivation, about fitness, and about music. And I've just decided, like, this is my target. And while a lot of people on Instagram will say, just focus on one thing, I think that there's a little bit of a nuance depending on the kind of page that you want to come across. Because there are like professional business type pages that are only about one topic, and people follow because, you know, they want to see like, oh, I really like beards, or I really like tweed jackets, so I'm going to follow this one account all about tweed jackets, and I know exactly what I'm going to get. For me personally, and this kind of ties in with the way we started this conversation, where I'm trying to unbrand myself as somebody who's only talking about fitness, and I'm just trying to really come across as a real person rather than a business. I think that's a lot more attractive. It's a lot less threatening. You know, when people, you know, they don't come to me thinking like I'm going to sell them something, or they don't come to me, you know, spewing a million fitness questions at me. so that whenever I give out an invitation, it's like, oh, here's this cool, positive guy who likes to sing, and he's in good shape, and he wants to do this test group with me. Like that kind of thing is so much easier to get across, and yeah, and I think it's more duplicatable. So if you're a brand new coach, you don't have to like build up this incredible thing of credibility and all this time and build a huge business before people trust you, because this way they trust you because you're just being yourself.
Mm.
Okay, Pete, lay it on me. What are you thinking?
Oh, I just ran with it and started posting.
Okay. Well, let me see.
Let's see, I Instagrammed, I tweeted, and I Facebooked.
Okay, good. Look, okay, so he has this ribbon thing. Just ordered $20 ribbon cable for the TV I'm fixing. Hashtag TV, hashtag TV parts, hashtag Phillips, LCD, and you already have somebody who liked the photo.
Yes.
Is this someone that likes a lot of your photos, or is this a new person?
That's a newbie.
Ooh.
I don't even know him. Or her,
Her.
I guess.
Well,
I
she's
don't know.
a spammer. That's what she is, actually.
But hey, she likes my page.
Yeah. I just went to her page, and she's a spammer. So
Yeah.
well,
I've gotten more results from admit it, life would be boring without me.
yeah. And here's the thing.
So there you go.
Branding takes time to build some momentum. So if you have been, doing something else, and then all of a sudden you switch, then they're going to be like, oh, this is different. So the more stuff that you do within your niche, within your brand, the more the reputation is going to build a momentum that this is something that's working. Now, one thing that you could do is ask a question. Like, is anybody else into fixing TVs? So,
Obviously not in this group.
yeah, well, I don't know. You're the only one here. Maybe Chris.
Yeah, I went to school for that the first time in tech school.
See?
Had my fill, but that's okay. That was old school. Now it's all new stuff, right? So there's probably a group on Facebook already you could find,
Yeah, I was just Googling tonight how to take an old analog TV out of a cabinet without getting shocked that would kill you.
Oh, that's always a plus.
Yeah,
You
just,
You need to drain the tube with the chassis to ground with a screwdriver and a clip.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to make a big spark, but you'll be fine.
Well, it's been unplugged for a while, so.
Well, it'll still be there. You have to put the screwdriver under the cap, and the other end of the screwdriver and a cable to the chassis.
I know, I watched it in Google.
And don't flinch. See, Michael, the stuff you learn.
See? And
No wonder.
people love giving advice.
Well, I don't want him to get hurt. It's gonna.
Like, if you know something, people love sharing it.
Yeah, you could post a video of you disabling the draining that, because it's one big capacitor is all it is. You could post a video of that, the big spark.
I could, but I would have to hold the phone like this.
Oh, and you need an assistant. You need to call somebody over and say, "Hey, if I get shocked, take me to the hospital. If not, post this video for me."
If I get shocked, here's my burial plot.
Well, you really do plan it.
The shock of the TV can kill you out of the old TVs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But if you have someone help you do it, you might have something to post to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
And if you go to the hospital, that's cool too. I mean, we'll watch that. Very entertaining.
There you go. Well, people love snuff films too, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Snuff films. Well.
Jen, what are you thinking? What's your take on this?
I'm kind of going with the approach of fitness, food, and finance. is kind of my market. Those are kind of just living life simple. I've been getting a lot of responses from all the food that I've been posting. So, and it's been really good, and I've been getting a lot of responses even in messages, like people are like, you've really been inspiring to me, or I'm going to try this, or thank you for doing this, or I got to get my butt in gear because I'm seeing all your workout posts. So I feel like I'm finding my market really nicely now.
Mhm.
So people want simple things to eat. They don't want to think about it.
Yep.
So yeah. So I think it's coming together pretty nicely. I just um, signed up for Instagram. So
Yeah.
that I just signed up for a YouTube channel,
Okay.
and I'm working on a body press website. So
Oh,
I'm kind of starting to get things all together.
yeah,
So
yeah. And what I like about the idea of like sharing simple food things is that that's a really great example of sharing value, of adding value to other people.
yeah.
Everybody is looking for a way to make food good and healthy and simple.
Mhm.
And people love recipes. Like they love simple life hacks, and that's an excellent way to add value to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked your video about the kitchen prep video was really nice.
Well, thank you. So I mean, that's just I've been getting a lot more comfortable just kind of things that are coming up that I'm thinking about, just turning on the camera and just going with it and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
So and just kind of just trying to put my life on Facebook,
Yep.
so that people can kind of see me in all aspects and kind of find my market, that way. So they don't see me as just being a coach. They see me, building my body. They see me, making great food and, just kind of putting my heart out there. So, yeah.
As a person, you have to be an actual person.
Yeah, exactly.
I just posted the other day in the TNL website or the Facebook group because I just had this thought that people are not on social media to find help. People are on social media to find connection.
Yeah.
And it's only once they've connected with a real person that getting help might sound like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we constantly have to be taking ourselves out of our own shoes and putting them into other people's shoes and asking ourselves, like, what do people want? What do they need? What's the pain point? Why are they here? And that's when you can actually. It's really powerful because it comes across like you're reading other people's minds. When you give some sort of value to them that's the reason that they're on social media. If the value you give is by being positive or sharing some kind of challenge and how you're working through it, or sending them a little quick message and just saying, hey, hope you're doing well, or a little happy birthday message, like whatever it is that they're there for, if you give that to them and add that kind of value to them, it's like you're reading their mind. And as soon as, I mean, we've all had that experience where if someone like connects to us in a way that they have stepped into our world and they have met a need or answered a question that we may not have even already asked, we have an immediate connection to that person.
Yeah. Would.
Yeah. So here's another thought that I wanted to share with you guys. That December is typically a pretty good month for fitness. People are starting to think about New Year's resolutions. January is awesome. Like January and June are the top 2 months. That's when everybody is either doing the New Year's resolution or the reality of swimsuits are present. Like they're really thinking about it. But December is a pretty good month as well, and I've been doing really well. I have 3 business centers, my own, Rodrigo's, and my mom's, and my strategy is to build my own to Success Club 10 first, which I've done, and I did that on December 2nd, which was crazy. And now I'm working on my mom's, and right now that one is at Success Club 6, and there should be another one coming in tonight. And then I want to build Rodrigo's to Success Club 10 as well. So my goal for December is Success Club 30. And I've been doing a little bit of tweaking to the whole invitation process. And I wanted to share this with you guys to see if this is something that can help you as well. Everybody has their own personalities, and like everybody has their own learning styles and things like that. And what I realized is that for a long time, I was reaching out to attract other people who were in dire need of help. Like they had a lot of weight to lose, or they, were struggling with, various issues, emotional issues, depression, things like that, and they need someone to turn themselves around. And my initial thought was like, oh, that's what we're here for. We're here to save the world and find these people who really, really have a long way to go to create this incredible transformation story. And while I will never neglect people like that at all, made a little shift over the last couple weeks that has really changed some things, and I want to kind of share like where I'm going with it as well. So instead, hey Colleen.
Hi, sorry I'm so late.
No, we're glad you're here.
I had therapy and I just got home.
Oh, good. Welcome back. So I was just sharing that I've been doing really well this month and kind of going in a little bit different direction, and I wanted to just describe it to you. So here's the thing. For people who have a long way to go, both physically and emotionally and financially, when they get to their target, the payoff is huge. Like, it's awesome. And there are people who are on the coach team now that already have incredible transformation stories, and like, I'm super thrilled, so excited. And the journey's not over. The norm is that those who need to be a follower often have difficulty becoming a leader. And those who, have a long way to go in their journey, there's a lot of reasons why, they're starting from that place. And, they need to be following so that they can, reach their goal. The transformation from follower into leader is something that we're all looking for as coaches. Not only to have really great challenge groups, but also to be building our team, to be helping more people. And we can ask the question over and over about are leaders born or are they made? And there's really smart people who say yes to both. And I've really kind of been focusing on helping people to develop into leaders, and developing into a leader myself. And I've experienced transformation in that myself. I feel like my journey has been way slower than I would hope it to be, but it is what it is. However, over the last few weeks, I've been reaching out to people who are not in terrible need. Been reaching out to people who are actually doing pretty well with their fitness. They might be pretty well financially. In fact, several of them might already be trainers themselves. So, for example, the challenge group that is just starting prep right now, I've got 7 people plus myself, and in there, there's someone who is a yoga master, and she has like developed her own kind of hot yoga mat, and she's an entrepreneur. There is a guy who is a super into CrossFit, like really, really good into CrossFit. There's a girl who's into CrossFit. There's a guy who's actually a group fitness instructor who does like Les Mills pump, but group classes. There's a guy who actually works at a gym and is a trainer. So like I'm kind of like experimenting with reaching out to a whole new group of people. And what I see for this group is, these are people who are, their need is that they've heard about insanity and they're curious about the new program. So just about all of them are doing Insanity Max 30. They're looking for peer groups, because a lot of times people who are leaders are lonely, and they need other people who are going in the same direction as them to push them even harder, because that's what they crave. And they're looking to change things up for themselves just to get some variety. So I'll be curious to see how this group goes. But what I see is, as they engage with the workout, as they see that they can actually push themselves even harder than they've been able to do, with their other workouts, as they're getting, even better results than they've been getting with the other workouts, that they are going to fall in love with this community and with our process and our system, and those are people that are ready to be leaders and to reach out to others. So I don't know if that's something that every single person needs to do or should do, but just for me, as I'm kind of thinking about my own niche and the people that I naturally naturally kind of attract, I'm embracing. So, Colleen, just to kind of catch you up, we're talking about niches and how to really embrace who we are as as a niche, especially the niches that are not fitness related, and using those to really connect with other people, and help them to get to know you as a full three-dimensional person, instead of only putting our coach mode on. So I realize what I just shared might be a little controversial, and people might have all sorts of questions, especially as they watch this video back. But I'm curious to know, what of that do you do for yourself? Like how do you translate that into your own business?
No, I can see where it makes sense. Because I have someone at school that I work with, and I want to say I think in the past she's always gotten any of her DVDs just online through Beachbody. And I didn't, and she's super fit. And I'm going, do I approach her? Do I not approach? So it does raise some red flags for me, definitely.
Yeah. And just to also kind of mention something that we talked about before you got on, Colleen, we started the whole conversation by saying, I was saying that I've recently been kind of stepping away from putting out there that I'm some fitness guru, that is somebody to come to who's going to answer lots of fitness questions, but rather really showing myself as a co-customer with everybody else here. We're all kind of beggars showing other beggars where the bread line is. So it really kind of takes us out of the equation as far as being some sort of a fitness expert or a trainer or a nutritionist. And that makes it so much more accessible to people who are all along the spectrum of their own fitness journey. So it doesn't mean that so if you're not setting yourself up as a fitness guru, then, and if somebody meets you for the first time, and let's say you've lost 30 pounds, but you have 50 more pounds to lose, they're not going to look at you and be like, oh, why are you calling yourself a coach if you have 50 more pounds to lose? So it's not about that at all. It's not about setting ourselves up as, this guru that people have to follow. It's just about saying like, hey, this is something that I'm doing. And we've connected on other ways. We're both teachers. We both work at the same school. We're both speech pathologists. We're connecting in ways that help us to be three-dimensional people. And with his friend that you're talking about, who's already very fit and who loves Beachbody programs, if she's not already working with a coach, it's likely that she's kind of doing all this on her own. Where she could be part of a community that's going to love her and embrace her and cheer her on.
Yeah, definitely. And I can even approach it from the standpoint, like, I could use somebody here at work who wants to do it with me and keep me motivated and keep me going, and who will, not that I'll just support you, but you'll support me,
And everybody loves, it's funny because usually people don't like asking for help, but almost everybody loves giving help.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Weird thing. So like if we can kind of take our ego aside, ask other people for help, then it puts us in a really cool relational dynamic that,
Right.
sets their minds at ease, and it really drops down any sort of defense mechanisms because they are reaching out to you for help.
Right. No, it definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think it's controversial or negative at all. I kind of see it as building up a network of people that are not just enthusiasts, but it's kind of a network of knowledge, like almost like building an Angie's List. You kind of have a network of people really close that are knowledgeable and helpful and already very positive and have proven themselves to be dynamic. So I think it's rather interesting and smart, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, if I didn't say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest that I have struggled with the tension between Beachbody and CrossFit.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of like the whole like Apple, Samsung, like, we are warring factions, and there's all of this tension between the two communities. And personally, I have struggled with it a lot. And, to the point that, I will get like messages from people who are CrossFit enthusiasts, and they'll be like egging me on, like challenging me, like, oh, like you couldn't do one of my workouts. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't know. I've never tried it.
Right.
But I gotta say, one thing that has really been changing my mind about it and helping me to see that that the better thing to do is, don't push up the tensions and like talk crap about CrossFit. Is we have a coach on our team, Krista, who is great at CrossFit. Like, she has been doing CrossFit for years, and it's really, really helped her. And she also sees value in Beachbody, and she's doing both at the same time. And so, just we can all be friends, and there's value in both. Opens up huge opportunities for us, and the less that we put ourselves out as, we are fitness gurus, we are the answer, Beachbody is the only thing out there, like you have to do this, do what I say, that's just going to put up defenses of people who are feeling really good and successful about doing other things with fitness, with CrossFit or other kinds of methods. So like I say, yeah, let's tear down those walls of defensiveness and let's reach out in friendship and help and see if there's ways that we can add value to each other's lives. I mean, it's funny because there's a lot of like fitness styles that started outside of Beachbody for the longest time, and then Beachbody would come out with a program that was all about that kind of fitness style. So like one of the big hot things right now is called Tabata training. And, I had all these fitness friends who were like, yeah, you gotta do Tabata because it's like really hardcore. And at first I was like, oh no, it's not Beachbody. I don't do that. And then of course they just came out with Insanity Max, which got delivered today. And what's the style of training? It's Tabata. So I'll tell you that, Carl Deichler, the head CEO of Beachbody, is not intimidated by other kinds of fitness phenomenon. I don't think he's intimidated by CrossFit or anything like that. He's probably looking at it and thinking, how can we work together? So, Colleen, you said that you had some experience or challenges with other fitness styles or CrossFit?
Yeah, no, I reconnected with a friend who's a former student, and now her children go to my school. So yes, I'm old. And she's like, wait, I don't know what, hold on, something just fell in the house. It has to do with the dogs. Hold on. Is it all good? Okay, it's all good. Sorry about that. No, and she's weighing CrossFit, and but I keep thinking, like, you've got 3 kids, and there's got to be days you can't make it over there to do CrossFit. So how do I, approach her, like you said, and say, look, there's this too for the days you can't get over there,
Yep. And I'll tell you the friend of mine who is into CrossFit, who's in this challenge group right now, she and I met in college, so we've known each other for several years, and she is also a mom, a single mom, and CrossFit has just saved her life, and it's fantastic. She's also a doula. She's a midwife.
Oh, wow.
She is like, hardcore. She's awesome. Over December, she's changing CrossFit boxes. She's like looking for a new place. And she's doing some traveling as well. So, I extended the invitation to be part of this test group because she actually asked me about Shakeology, like getting a sample. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. I'll show you how to do that. By the way, would you be interested in this? And first she said no. And then later that night, she was like, oh, you know what? I'm in this transition. It's going to be kind of awkward to get to the gym. This might be really helpful.
Right.
So you just kind of put it out there, and when it's their time, they'll see it.
They'll remember, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I liked what you said about these people being leaders, but like needing a support group of other leaders so they don't feel like they're that alone person.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs support no matter where they're at,
Yeah.
Definitely.
So.
Who else is on tonight? I don't even know.
Oh, can you see everybody else?
There's Peter, who reminded me you guys were on. I had just gotten home from therapy and changed.
Like my
And he's
post.
like, where are you? I'm like, oh my God. Thank you, Peter. Hi, Chad.
You like the ribbon cable. I was like, Colleen likes the ribbon cable? Why?
The fact that you could do that by yourself and I could not, that's why.
Well, and then, I posted a profile picture not that long ago, and Colleen was like, Peter? Why don't you change that? Not smiling, you look like a grump. So
Does anybody remember that picture? I got him to change it.
That's
So-
right. See,
At first, I think he was mad, but I told him it was because I loved him.
I was not mad.
I know I'm teasing you. And I like the new haircut too.
Yeah, and the new glasses too.
And the glasses.
don't forget the glasses.
Yeah, they cost a bunch.
Oh, yeah. That's-
$335 or something.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, in the eye exam. So, and that was with insurance. So
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Well, what are you guys thinking for this month? How are things going? What questions do you have? What goals do you have?
Hmm.
Mm. I have to work on my parents. Maybe not so much to bring him into any sort of business, but my dad may have heart surgery because of all this, pound of bacon for breakfast. And it's really difficult when I visit because there's no organic food for 300 miles, and it doesn't mean they couldn't make healthier choices, but it's difficult for me to eat in that environment. And it's also not costing them their health. So I'm going to be focusing on them pretty heavily for probably the next 2 weeks I'm down there, for sure. And maybe spread out a little bit business-wise as well. But I'm going to focus on them.
Yeah. Chris, do you feel like you're at a point where you can kind of spread out with the business? I know that you've kind of been in this limbo of,
Yeah.
or can you push it?
I'm still in that limbo, and I'm working largely on word of mouth right now, which is not nearly as effective as social media.
Yeah.
I wish it was. I think there's room inside my own family. I really think there is for some business growth. I've got a cousin that's really talks to me a lot about fitness offline, so I'm going to talk to him a little bit. But it's also time to really work my parents. I mean, they really need a change in diet. A lot of my friends I visit my friend Alfredo in Minneapolis, and their daily ritual is a pound of bacon together, the two of them. And
Wow.
one of them's in the hospital now. I wonder why. There's a lot of people really close to me that need discussions, and maybe that will actually start something.
Yeah.
But I don't live in a very healthy family at all.
Do they talk about like this is something that they need?
No, a lot of them are not very receptive. But this is my dad's first, major brush with anything that's cardiovascular, that's serious. And I think while that's on the table, I think it's a good time to have several discussions. But no, generally they're not receptive to that. They want their bacon, and that's all there is to it. But it tastes so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, it's a tough one. Sometimes family is, great. It's easy. It's like your first connection of people who are wanting to join you, and then other times they're the last ones. And it's the bottom line is it's really hard to help people who don't want help.
Oh yeah. Well, I think for these two, I think we're just gonna have discussions for their own health. I mean, obviously the nurse in the ER has been also preaching the same thing. But I do have people in my family that I'll be seeing, like my nephew, who is really interested in stuff like this. We talk a lot.
Nice.
So that will be
in those conversations, and this is just a really great question for everyone, how do you talk about what you are inviting people to? Like, how do you describe it? What do you say? Because I've been changing the way that I've been describing it recently, and it's been working a lot better.
Well, I've had obviously I traveled to Rhode Island and did, broke away from my family to do like the client call and coaches call. And so they're like, so how did it go? And I was like, oh, it was good. Like Sunday night, it's a bunch of, people from all over, and just where they're checking in, encouraging each other. And then Monday night, doing the coaches call. And they've been down here when I've done the same thing, where I just disappear into the room, and then I'll come out like an hour or two later, and they're like, "Oh, how'd it go?" And I was like, "Good." And they're like, "You making money yet?" And I was like, yeah, I'm building the business to make money. So, so, but they're pretty much, I'm like, well, it's a peer support, both business side and fitness side. So it's kind of, a lot of what I've explained it to them. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they also want to see, like, are you making money, or are you just investing into something that's going to get you in more debt? So,
Right. Time. Yeah. Cost.
no, I'm improving myself, so it's worth it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, along the way, we're also improving our own health, and the money. If I never made a dollar ever, I end up healthier
right.
by the end. So there's that. Chad, how are you talking about what you're inviting people to? Because you've had some really good success these last few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I feel like it's just been as a result of everything that I've been posting and showing results and talking about it. And I feel like a lot of people have come to me, which has been really exciting. And even like what you were saying about, people that are already fit, that are already in a good place. I actually ended up having that happen to me a couple days ago. A friend of mine that I would have never approached because she's totally fit. Her husband's a personal trainer, would have no reason to talk to her about it. She actually contacted me and said, "Your results have been really awesome. I've been watching what you've been doing. I'm totally bored at the gym. You know, what are you doing? Let's, talk about it." So, and that's the thing, is that some people just need to change it up, and they just need something else. So it's really been a lot of that. It's just been kind of just through exposing myself and just posting, and talking about it. That's where I've really gotten a lot of it, and just kind of reconnecting with, friends on Facebook that I haven't talked to in a while. I spent a lot of time just kind of reinvesting, and through conversation, about what I'm doing. And, everyone knows, anyone that knows me has known that I've always been about fitness. Like, that's something that I've been doing my entire life in some form or fashion. So conversation is just very easy in that regard, because that's what I've always done. So kind of transitioning it to Beachbody, was not difficult, as far as that went. So, but I just have a lot of conversations just about life, and I kind of just work in the fitness side of it, just with how great I'm feeling, and I'm in the best shape of my life, and talking about Shakeology and talking about food and posting that. I've kind of just have segued, it's kind of just segued really nicely into, being like, hey, I have a challenge group that's starting. It's the program we're going to be doing now. And it's just kind of flowed from that. So it's been really easy in that regard, because I've just been myself.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a really great point, that instead of having to spend an entire one-on-one conversation educating people about what we're doing and breaking through objections that we're having, if you are being transparent about what you're doing on social media and about just conversations even offline, all those questions are already answered for people. They kind of know already. So when you start to have the conversation, it's not so much about figuring out every little detail to answer for them, but it's just really about, and this is what I've been saying. So basically, I'm putting together a group of friends to test out this workout program, and we are connecting in a group Facebook message, kind of like a chat room, to cheer each other on, hold each other accountable, and push each other further. It'd be great to have you.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people like the structure that we have going with these ramps. Only recently have I been kind of connecting that idea to like, oh, it's a chat room. That's what it is. And chat rooms really aren't a thing nowadays as much as they used to be, although Facebook just came out with a new app a couple weeks ago that is all about chat rooms, and I'm looking into that. But what we're doing is it's a chat room instead of a Facebook group, which has a very different conversational dynamic. So people hear that and they're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like it's a place to hang out, a place to check in, a place to get pushed even further. And I know what that is. And I personally have not called it a challenge group in a long time. It depends on who you're talking to. Some people, they're fine with the word challenge, but other people are like, ooh, challenge, that sounds hard. I don't think I want that. Or it's a little jargony. So unless you already have like a background where they know what a challenge group is, then that way they know what they're saying yes or no to. So that's why I've been kind of saying it's basically like a chat room.
Mm.
And, that doesn't sound as intimidating to people. Good. Anything else? Any questions about what we've talked about today? I want to close with just talking about goals and what you guys want to accomplish for this month, and as we start heading into the new year, start to think about that as well. But before we get into that, any questions or comments that you guys wanted to chime in with?
No, I'm good.
Good. Cool. Right around the beginning of each year, I shared my business growth chart with you guys a few weeks ago. Right around January is when I usually have a big spike, and it's connected to both people are interested in fitness in January, and I kind of like wake up a little bit more every year. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And when I first started as a coach, I went essentially a year and a half without doing anything, and a year and a half later, right, that January 2012 was when I decided, like, you know what, I either want to do this, like actually do this, or not do it. Because right now it's like slowly bleeding out, and I don't know where this is going. And so that's when I decided to to engage in some training and to really treat it more seriously. And every January I kind of like figure out more and wake up a little bit more. So I'm really excited for both my own business as well as you guys. That we're right on the cusp of a huge opportunity, and those who are ready to kind of wake up a little bit more and to open their eyes to what's possible, like this is an amazing time to do that.
Mm.
And so I just I want to hear where you guys are, and are you excited for this part of the year? What do you see for yourself? What kind of dreams and goals and results are you wanting to push for over the next month or so?
I can start. I think my biggest push has got to be, I think, finally get my knee to where it needs to be. I'm almost done with therapy, so I feel like January 1st is going to be my re-kickoff. I think by the end of the month, I'm going to be where I need to be, at least from what my therapist is telling me. So I think that's where I'm at. Obviously, I'm at a different point than other people, just trying to get through this meniscus tear and strengthen everything to where it needs to be so that I'm able to work out the way I want to work out.
Nice.
So.
I'm excited for you.
On a rainy day like today, it was really sore. Let's put it that way. It's not a pretty day today. So, yeah. But I'm hanging in there. Every day I just get one more day.
It's better every day.
Yep.
Well, I'll go ahead. I'm not really focusing on any huge sales. Like I said, building more relationships with the people that I know, primarily. Also working on some other personal development issues, knowledge-based things. Some related to Beachbody, some not. And exploring a more creative side of myself over the holiday. That's what I really want to do. I've actually been lucky that I used to have a very analytical job. And over the last 2 or 3 years, while I've been kind of forced into slowing down a little bit, I've been able to look to other areas that are more creative. And I'm going to continue to explore those over the holiday.
Look forward to many more Christmas productions.
Oh, yeah. I have to go find an ugly sweater for Christmas. I'm still looking if anybody knows where one is and lives in Chicago.
Go to Goodwill.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet. I'm probably going to go tomorrow.
Serious.
I went to a place called the Brown Elephant, and they didn't have any ugly sweaters. They were all very tasteful. Darn it.
That's because that donate to Brown Elephant.
Yeah, I looked there. I'm going to keep looking. I need it for a project, so.
They're like, this Versace is so last season. I don't need it.
Yes. This is the ugliest Versace I've ever had. This is worse than Prada. Oh, God.
Very 2013.
Yeah.
Okay, I was writing down mine. And then organizing them in order. So, I guess the biggest one is like my weight loss and continuing towards that goal. Since I actually haven't hit the goal I had for the year, but obviously slowly off is better than fast off and then gain it all back. So, 2 would be just continuing to invite. So, 3 would be the personal development. 4 would be working on, training, continuing the training that I'm doing, learning more. 5 would be working on niche development, and then 6 would be, Success Club, obviously. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And number 6, the Success Club, is going to be a result of numbers 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Right. It was like the third one I wrote down, but then I put all the numbers.
Yeah.
So.
And then it'll be number 1.
Well, it's been focused number 1 for a while, and that's gotten me pretty much nowhere. So.
Right. No, I know what you're saying though, but then it'll all flip around for you.
Because you've been focusing on the sign more than the thing that the sign is pointing to.
Yeah.
So Success Club in and of itself means nothing to anybody. It's a sign. It's a result. It's a product of other things happening. So it's a product of you're showing that you're getting results, and it's a product of personal development. And it's a product of inviting. Like those are the things to focus on, rather than Success Club. Success Club is just like the measure of what you're doing with those other goals that you set for yourself.
which right now looks like not very well. So
Because you've been focusing on the ruler instead of the thing that the ruler's supposed to measure. So it sounds like you've got your more clarity now with what you are measuring, which is awesome.
And I must say, I just feel like, Peter, you look happier and healthier. And it's not just back to that picture, but you just, whatever you're doing is making a difference, even if you don't see it. I guess that's what I wanted to say. Like, whatever personal development you've been doing, I can see a change. So keep going, because I think you're getting there.
True. Do you see it, Pete?
a little bit. I've also been dealing with a lot of personal stuff too. So that I've been kind of interacting with some people about. So
And that's a good thing. Yeah,
won't go into detail
it's okay.
since it's being recorded.
It's all good.
Yeah, that's fine. And everything you're doing with developing yourself, it shows up in every other aspect of our lives, and especially when we're being challenged, especially when things are not going easily. That's like the true test to see, like, is what I'm doing to develop myself working? Because if my life completely crumbles the way that it used to, then it means I need to figure out a more effective way to develop myself so that I can have the strength to work through these challenges. So I think just by the very fact that you are seeing a vision for yourself, even while you're experiencing so many challenges, is a really good sign that you're doing something right.
Yeah, I also was going through a challenge group that Jason Lipoff put on with the 16 Habits of a Rich John. So
Nice.
I haven't been active, but I've been reading every post. So whether I've commented every day or not, that's another story. But I've been looking at them. So, but the amazing thing for that group is he said he had like 35 invites and only 14 people responded to the email and asked to be joined into the group. So, which was kind of amazing. I was like, wow.
Did you think it would have been higher?
Yeah, just because of how he promoted it in a way. It was just like basically how to be successful like a rich person. So like anybody that was after any like financial gain would want to know what is 16 habits that somebody that's successful is doing. So
Yeah. What a great example of how you can literally like go up to somebody and say, I want to give you $100 right now, no strings attached. And they'd be
Right.
like, what do you want? What's going on? Why are you like, they will talk themselves out of it.
Right.
So so like
Crazy, yeah.
when somebody says no or asks a bunch of questions and talk themselves out of like being in a challenge group, just know that they that's kind of human nature. Like, we want to kind of feel smart, and we kind of want to like outsmart ourselves out of even getting things that are good. So it happens, and that's the resistance that we feel as coaches. And the more that you press through that, the easier it becomes when you realize, like, oh, somebody as awesome as Jason Lipoff, who is offering this incredible value, and less than half said yes.
Yeah, he's been encouraging me too because we've had some discussions on Facebook along with Nate and stuff. So I've reached out to other coaches. That's kind of part of my training.
He's
So,
a good guy. Yeah. That's awesome. such a great resource. I'm glad you're reaching out.
Not that you're not available, but
No, and I reach out to people all the time also. That was kind of like one of the big epiphanies for me, that I'm not alone. This is not some like video game with avatars. These are real people who they are successful because they are helpful.
Mhm.
Well, and you just never know what one person's going to say, and you're going to hear it differently than if somebody else said almost the exact same thing, but just a little, in a different manner, clicks with you.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So,
Good. Chad, how about for you? What are you looking at over the next month, and just some goals you're wanting to shoot for?
I mean, things are going pretty well. I have a lot that I'm working with right now, so I'm shooting for Ruby by the end of this month, and then hopefully Diamond by the end of January. So I've a lot of things that are in play that I think will kind of come to a head by the end of the month. So I'm excited to kind of see where that goes.
Great. Great.
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, write them down. Write your goals down. Be like Pete.
Oh, they're down.
Aim high always.
Yeah. Yeah. Typically we accomplish a portion of our goals. So why not set gigantic goals? So even if we accomplish a portion of it, it's way more than we would have if we set modest goals.
Yeah. Well, and my husband is currently walking home in the freezing cold from work. So my goals are big because they need to be big.
You've got a good why there.
Yeah.
So, well, good. Well, thank you so much, guys, for taking the time and joining and sharing your thoughts and just being so transparent. I am truly blessed to be a part of this community, and just know that I appreciate each and every one of you.
Same.
Same.
And
Yeah, we appreciate you too, Michael.
let's rock this week.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
do it will be summit. Woo.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Night all.
Bye.
All right.